So, do I miss the third generation Tacoma? We're going to talk about that in just a second, but we're out here obviously driving around in the fourth generation Tacoma, which is the new Tacoma, the 2024 by the way. And Mother Nature has presented us with a perfect opportunity to see how this truck feels and sounds in high wind. We've got 35 mile an hour winds here today. We just had a front go through last night. Brought some storms and stuff to the area, I guess. Further north than me, though. But anyway, now in the wake of that, we've got some pretty good wind. 50 mile an hour gusts. And right now, the wind is blowing across. So it's hitting on the driver's side door and kind of blowing across the truck. So I thought it'd be interesting to see if the truck, first of all, is affected by it in any way. You know, sometimes a truck will kind of move on its suspension, right? I've had trucks where I've been in this kind of wind, and I can actually feel them kind of moving around as I'm driving, kind of floating on their own suspension, by the way. You know, a few years ago, I was caught in a severe thunderstorm, and while stopped at a light, I had thunderstorm winds blowing at me from the rear, right? And it actually felt like the truck was lifting up in the air. Now, obviously I know it wasn't. It's not like I was in a tornado or something, but it was the truck moving on its own suspension. Really kind of strange. So I'm going to be quiet for a second with this wind, and I'll let you hear what it sounds like with the wind blowing almost right straight at the truck now. You can probably hear that. That's wind buffeting off the side of the truck now. We went around a curve. So I can hear the wind in here. And of course, you're going to get a little bit of road noise. But I think generally, this truck is really pretty quiet. So whatever Toyota did as far as sound deadening goes, they did a pretty good job there, because I'm not really hearing a ton of wind inside the truck. Now, I'm going to make a turn here. We're going to go that way. To the left, and what I really want to hear is what the truck sounds like with it hitting directly. I think back there we were still kind of at an angle, but as soon as we make this turn, I'm going to be driving straight into the wind. So fortunately we've got the green arrow here, so we should be able to go. We should be able to hear or see if it affects the truck from the front at all, particularly as far as maybe lifting up the truck a little bit. I'm just talking about something you notice in the steering wheel. Obviously, the truck is not popping wheelies driving down the road, but we need to get up to speed, and that is going to be 55. Let's get around this truck. He's going too slow for me. So there you go. We're at 56 right now, and I'll let you guys hear. A little bit more wind noise maybe off of the A-pillar there, but nothing crazy. And so far, I haven't really felt the wind take the truck at all. In other words, kind of fighting the steering wheel to keep it on the road. So that's always a good thing. You know, there's nothing worse than driving in high wind and you constantly have to correct because it's kind of blowing the truck all over. Now, I do suspect that once we get out in a more open area, this is pretty open anyway, but I think once we get out in a real open area, we might get a little bit of that buffeting from the wind. In other words, pushing the truck around. I mean, after all, it is still a truck. It is a higher profile vehicle, so I expect the wind to kind of take it a little bit when we're out in the open, and I'll let you know when that happens here in just a minute. But let's get to the main question here. I've been getting a lot of comments lately asking me if I miss the third generation. Do I wish I had the third generation back? And finally, did I make a mistake? Should I have not gone with the fourth generation Tacoma? Let's go with the first one. Do I miss the third gen? I really don't. I really don't miss it at all. It's not been one of those purchases where I thought, you know, that last truck that I had, it was better than what I've got now. and feel any regret, I guess, in making the purchase. None at all. This truck, in my opinion, is definitely a step forward when it comes to the Tacoma line. Did I make a mistake? Well, all of these kind of go together, I guess. Did I make a mistake? Well, the only area that I would possibly have made a mistake, there's really two in getting this truck. One is fuel economy. Am I getting worse fuel economy now than I did in the third gen? And the answer to that is no. I'm getting 18 right now, 18.2 miles per gallon. Pretty strong in this truck, particularly compared to my 14.7 to 16 that I was getting in the last truck. The second is going to be, and we don't know yet, comes down to reliability. I would say from a quality standpoint, I haven't noticed any issues with this truck, from paint to fitment to function and all that kind of stuff. So nothing weird or funky as far as that goes. I really don't miss the third gen at all, and I don't think I made any mistake in going with this 2024 Tacoma. Lastly, would I take the third gen back if I could? Another question people have been asking me. In other words, I guess if I could go back to the dealer and say, nah, I don't really like this truck, can I get the third gen back? And the answer to that is no. There's no way I would go back to the dealer and ask them if I could have my old truck back. It's not possible anyway. That truck sold. I was actually contacted by the person that bought that truck, so it's gone. It took about a week and a half or something like that, but not even a possibility, nor would I want to do that anyway. All right, now we are driving, I think, with a bit more of a tailwind. So we'll see if I notice that kind of upward push on the truck as I'm driving. So far, no. All I can hear are a few gusts against the side of the truck, and we're out in the open now. I don't know if you guys can see over here, but we're out in the open for the most part, particularly right now. Nothing around but a couple of telephone poles and fields. We're going to get back into some, I guess, cover here in a second. Now we've got trees and stuff over there. But in that small area, and I know it was pretty quick, I really didn't notice anything funky at all. Again, I can hear the wind hitting the truck, and now it's actually switched a little bit. It's actually hitting back again on this driver's side, but nothing funky. Anyway, I am very happy with this truck. No way do I miss the third gen. No way do I go back to the third gen, even if I could. I think this is definitely a step up. As I mentioned, I think Toyota did a fantastic job. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think if you've gone to the fourth gen. Did you make a mistake? Do you regret your decision? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.